8:30, and we have another CNP monthly webinar about to begin. Let's let some other people roll on, and if you want to put in the chat something about um, what you're harvesting, what your favorite harvest is, if you're having harvest festivals, just to give other folks a chance to roll on in. Looks like we're recording. Alrighty. Here's our agenda for today. We have Dina Benson from Dairy West. We'll talk about SFA's on-site monitoring, the after-school snack program review, 30-day carryover, verification, direct certification, ICN trainings, NSLP trainings, USDA foods, and new positions and folks. Of course, my favorite, October, is Farm to School Month. National School Lunch Week is also in October. We'll share about the Turn Up the Beat Award. We'll have some town hall time to talk about bad debt. So I saved some time towards the end if folks want to jump on, and we'll let you off mics and you can talk about that. And then our next webinar. So with that, why don't we go ahead and I'll introduce Dina Benson. She's here to tell us about Dairy West opportunities. And Dina, go ahead, take it away.
Thank you so much, Pamela. I really appreciate the time to be able to talk to you guys. So we have a couple of really fun things coming up as opportunities to partner with Dairy West. Our very first one is a summit called Elevate. This summit was created for school nutrition directors, this very first one. We're going to be talking about anything from culture to food photography to some really easy ways to make your professional standards trainings easy to access and easy for you to keep up on. So this is coming up on October 17th. It will be from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., a full day of adventures with us. And this will be hosted at the Riverside in Garden City, right there in the Boise area. We would love to have you register if you haven't already. As part of this, if you attend this training as a director, we are going to have staff trainings that will happen in February and March of 2025, where your staff can attend a similar training. You can invite up to 6 staff members. Our goal is really to have this be an annual meeting where we can train you and your staff on new exciting adventures that we have, but also, just some standard training opportunities that we have. This time we're focusing on culture and how marketing can really impact your programs. So we'd love to see you there if you haven't registered. The registration is right there in the slides. So when you get that, make sure you apply. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I can answer any additional questions that you have. Our next opportunity that we have open right now is our grants. They opened just this week, and they will close on October 25th. This time we're focusing on breakfast opportunities, as well as a grab-and-go pizza cart and combination cart, which includes our smoothies. If you do not have a need for additional equipment, but really love the marketing options, we have a marketing only option available. So please make sure that you check that out. There's a place on the application where you can do a request for marketing only and really request what it is that you're looking for. And we'll follow up with you and make sure that you have the marketing that will help your programs out. The last thing that I really want to feature is some of the training opportunities that we have, especially considering, as Pamela mentioned, Farm to School Month is coming up. So be prepared for those. There are farm to school posters that we can get you in touch with. Also, the Adopt a Cow program that Dairy West sponsors is a really great opportunity for your school to really get involved with a brand new calf that they'll be able to follow throughout the school year. There are also virtual dairy farm tour. There's a request form that you can put in to be able to access those. Super fun way for you to be able to highlight that, maybe even at your lunchtime, as an educational piece as part of Farm to School Month. In addition to those, we have additional opportunities with trainings that I'd love to tell you more about. Anything from Strive for 35 that helps train your staff on the importance of keeping milk cool and why milk is so important, to some really fun professional training opportunities that we have upcoming for you to be able to share with your team. As always, don't hesitate to reach out to me. My phone number and my email address are here, and I'm always available for you. Love to hear from you. So anytime, just give me a call, send me an email. I'm happy to connect.
Thanks, Dana. It's great to share all those, to hear about those opportunities, and hopefully we'll be able to follow up soon.
Thank you so much.
Yep. So now next we have SFA on-site monitoring, and Jax will take us through the next 3 topics. Go ahead, Jax.
Good morning, everyone. So real quick, just a reminder for SFA on-site monitoring. So if you are a district school food authority that has more than one site, this is a requirement that you guys have to do by February 1st. So I know that we're telling you guys way in advance, but we want to tell you this so you guys can get this on your schedule and make sure that you have it ready to go. So if this is the case, you have to review 100% of lunches and 50% of your breakfasts. There is a form in download forms in section 11 that leads you through how to do all of this. This is completed so that we can make sure that we're accurately monitoring our point of service systems and our claiming to make sure everything is going through smoothly, since if there are multiple schools within your district, you might not be monitoring this on an everyday basis. If you are only a one-site operation, it isn't a requirement, but we're still going to recommend that you do it. I think that it gives you some insight by going through these questions on things that you might not normally be looking out for on a day-to-day basis. So we'd still recommend it there. Also, just one quick note about the 50% of breakfasts. If you're a school food authority, let's say you have an odd number of sites. So if you have 10, pretty easy. You only have to review 5 of your breakfasts, so 5 sites. But if you, let's say, have 11 schools within your district, you'd have to review the upper half of the 50%. So you don't review 5, you'd review 6 if you have 11 sites. Next slide. And like I had said, this is just a great internal control for ensuring accuracy, meal counting, and claiming. So again, if you can do this multiple times throughout the year, it doesn't hurt as well. But at the very minimum, you're required to do this at least once if you have multiple sites at your district, and make sure that you have the SFA on-site monitoring forms on file so that we can review them at any time. Keeping on with program reviews. So if you operate the after-school snack program, you must monitor it at least twice during the school year. Again, there's a form for this that we have in Idaho CNP's download forms. This is found under section 15. And you have to do this once during the first 4 weeks of the snack program operation, and then again before this program ends for the school year. It's not as specific with a date as regular SFA on-site monitoring, because sometimes the after-school snack program at a specific site might not start until October, and then it might end for you guys a little bit earlier, maybe in March. So a couple months before the end of the school year. But just make sure that you guys are aware of this and that you're doing this as well. Again, if you operate the after-school snack program, make sure that you have these available, showing that you have completed these for the school year for the state agency to review at any time. And a little note about 30-day carryover. So carryover period ends after the 30th operating day. So for some of y'all, that might be coming up here pretty soon if you started in early to middle of August. So if you have any meal benefits that have not been updated for the current school year, so they don't have documentation, whether that's via direct certification, whether that's a free and reduced application that has been approved, then they have to be changed to paid if they're still on that carryover list using a benefit from the previous year. Make sure that you check your point of service software and your benefit issuance to make sure that this is going to actually happen. Don't just say, well, automatically it's supposed to switch over. Make sure that it is set up in your software to occur, and make sure that you're checking after that 30th operating day that in fact benefits did change over, because we've had some times where we found out later in the year that this hasn't happened and it can lead to some issues with claiming. So make sure you're checking out for that.
Thanks, Jax. We're going to talk about verification. Now it's Melissa's turn.
Good morning, everyone. Can you believe it's almost October and verification is going to begin? So verification, yep, it's a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal. It takes place over 6 weeks worth of time and includes several steps to verify selection of applications that were received by October 1st. In order to verify applications, the applicant selected must provide income documentation, or if determined by other source, categorical eligibility, which were not on your direct cert list. Documents confirming categorical eligibility status must be provided. Now, a note on that, the Medicaid, you shouldn't have anybody on Medicaid from an application, but if somebody said SNAP or something on the application, and they provide Medicaid documentation, that cannot be accepted. That Medicaid can only come through direct cert, the only way. Okay, what it means for the application, if they're a food stamp number, for example, the child was not on your DC list, the application was selected for verification. You must contact the family to provide something from the food stamp office saying they were food approved for food stamps for the month or around the time the application was submitted. Next page. So, steps for verification. Applications must be counted on October 1st this year to determine the sample pool. Hang on to that number because you're going to need it for the report later. That's, 6 weeks later, you're going to need that number. So make sure you know that number of applications that you had, broken down by type. Once the number and type of applications to be verified has been selected, give them to your confirming official to validate that they were determined correctly before sending letters out. Once you've got everything ready to go, run direct certification. Yes, you've already run it this year, and you probably already run it maybe this during the week, but do it again, because if any of your selected applications is on the direct cert list, that means they're directly verified and you don't have to send letters to collect anything. Makes that part super simple. Next page. All right, then midway through October, approximately 2 weeks after sending verification letters, send a second notice to any household that hasn't responded. When sending the second notice, advise of the date the benefits will end if no response is made. This is by regulation. You have to do this. You have to send that second notice by regulation if they haven't responded. Also midway through October, but no later than the end of the month, run direct cert again. You can hear this over and over. Direct cert's really important. You must record the number of students in your district who qualify for free meals through SNAP and for Medicaid reduced and free. So you need to have a number for those to report to. SNAP will be on your report, and I'll get to Medicaid in a minute. Public schools can use a state level match for this feature, for this requirement. Next page. Then verification reporting will open on October 31st. It will not open before. You can't report anything prior to October 31st. Using this as of October 31st date, count the number of students in your district who are eligible for free or reduced price meals by category as shown on this slide. Yep, it's all broken out there. All verification activities, including submission of the report in My CNP, must be completed no later than November 15th. All SFAs must complete the verification report, even if no applications are taken. It's just a lot simpler for you, like, CEP type of that type of program. Okay. New this year, the state agency will be collecting the number of children directly certified as Medicaid free and the number of children directly certified as Medicaid reduced as of October 31st. This information will be collected via email, and it's required of all SFAs to report it to us. This is going to be congregate only. We don't want it broken out by school. We don't want anything remotely identifiable in there, just the numbers. But that'll come to you via email. The request will come to you via email from me. Right. And then you'll find yourself in a pickle. Contact me if you have any questions to get this done as required. It's really crucial that you start by October 1st. Watch for an email being sent next week. It'll provide instructions. Reach out to me, call me, call me, call me. I'm here to assist as much as I can. Then let's see. SFAs must run direct cert report a minimum of 3 times at the beginning of the school year, 90 days later, and in February, March timeframe. Run a list for new matches as early and often as possible. Identify students eligible for free meals and limit accrual of unpaid meal charges. This is a benefit. I mean, it's a great system, and you should be using it often. All right, from here, I'm going to give it to Lynda to take it away.
Thanks, Melissa. One thing that I do want to say, we do have the new matches with Medicaid reduced, but we've discovered that there needs to be tweaking in the system, and this tweak is going to take a little time. It takes quite a bit of programming. Told it wasn't going to be easy, so I'm warning everybody, if a Medicaid reduced child, so a child who is certified as Medicaid reduced at the beginning of the year, comes up as another designation later, so SNAP, TAFI, Medicaid free, the child will not show up on the new matches report. It will show up on the all matches report, but not the new matches. So there's nothing to identify that children have changed from reduced to free. Again, taking a little complicated programming. So we are warning you that for a while, you may need to babysit your Medicaid reduced children to ensure they're not showing up on the free list later on. And I apologize, but that's one of the things that happens with the new program is we figure out sort of hiccups as we're going. So just warning everybody. The other thing that has recently come to our attention that is not on the slide is those of you that are on Titan are may not be doing the 30-day carryover correctly. So if a child was free last year and they're on 30-day carryover and they're showing up as a direct cert reduced on your direct cert report this year, Titan is not changing their designation, and they have asked that you call in and ask them how to handle it. I've heard of one person that they've told to do something and it makes no sense to me. So call your representative at Titan to get this fixed, and double check your Medicaid reduced children in that instance. So next, I'm going to go to ICN trainings. And I just want to let everybody know that ICN has a new Culinary Institute of Child Nutrition. They have face-to-face and on-demand trainings where they will send somebody out to a district and help them with knife skills, production records. They have a number of really cool classes that they've just initiated in August. So there are face-to-face trainings that you could request 8 to 10 weeks before the training date. They have to be at least 4 hours in a single day. The requesting person or agency must provide a training site with AV equipment. You've got to promote the training and have 25 participants. And we do know that sometimes 25 may be tight and they will go down a little bit, but shoot for the 25 participants. The arrangement for trainers are coordinated by the ICN team. So they take care of everything for you and they give you the training materials free of charge and they're all shipped to the training site. I don't know about knives and cutting boards when they're teaching you culinary, but if that is the case, we do have some knife kits that we could loan out and you return to us. But again, this is a new offering and I wanted to bring everybody's attention to it. So next, Cass is going to tell us about upcoming trainings. Cass?
Well, good morning, everybody. The NSLP team was super excited to see some of you next week at our NSLP 101, 102 trainings. That's next Wednesday and Thursday, the 25th and 26th of September. These trainings really go into a lot of detail in the topics that we will be discussing and have activities, a lot of hands-on activities so that it'll really give you an opportunity to ask questions if there's anything, these activities are all items that we will be, that you will be performing. And so it's a perfect opportunity for you to ask questions. We're there to assist you. As I've told many of you, our number one job is to ensure that you are successful. So that's what we're there for. And we are looking forward to seeing you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks so much, Cass. And now our USDA food section. We have a new coordinator, Kat Forsty, who many of you have known from procurement reviews and her work at the department for years, is now our USDA foods coordinator. And Sean Charters is going to be assisting with USDA foods as the financial specialist senior. And everybody knows Sean as with supply chain and TIG grants and all sorts of other activities. I don't know. Kat's on a cruise and today's her birthday. So we want to, that's why she's not here. Sean, did you want to say hi or tell folks about anything coming up? Put you on the spot. She's here. You can always reach out. Happy to have her and congratulations to these guys. And then next, I just wanted to remind everybody about the USDA Foods Advisory Council. These guys are here for you. The folks who are in italics, they're ending October 1st. And this list is on our website under USDA Foods. These guys are your subject matter experts. Ask them about co-op memberships, ordering menus, anything you need to help with. We at the state agency are here to help too, but these guys are in the trenches with you on the daily. They also need your support. They need support with taste tests, involvement at the ISNA food show. Your input is needed for a robust conversation. They're willing to represent you, but they need to know what you want represented. It's one of those, we're all in this together. And if anybody's on the council on the call right now, I see Katie Rogers. Did anyone want to come off mute and say hi or plug something? And we'll have time at the end as well. But I just wanted to remind everybody that you have a USDA Foods Advisory Council filled with folks who are subject matter experts. So don't hesitate to find this list and reach out to them too.
Pamela,
Yeah,
can I just, I just have to say something. The
this is
advisory
Heather.
council.
This is Heather
Yeah.
Plain. Thank you, Heather. Go ahead.
So I can't really see how many people are on the call, but the advisory council has been such a benefit for our state. And one thing that I think is super beneficial is when we go to the food shows and we hear, well, your state won't process, or your state this, your state that. I can say to them, no, it's not our state, it's our advisory council. Our advisory council is making decisions on behalf of our directors in the state. And I think that's been super helpful in conversations, because it's not just this black hole of the State Department making decisions. It's actually all those people on the screen that you're listing right now, they making decisions together, but on behalf of the rest of the directors and the school districts in our state. So I appreciate that you said reach out, because sometimes we're making decisions and we're doing best guess. We know what our districts like and do. But yes, and Katie's promoting the Riverside, the food show, but we really have a voice. And I think that's where this advisory council is. So, okay, I'm done.
Thank you so much, Heather. I was hoping somebody would come in and talk about that too. So for sure, you guys reach out to them. And now my turn. October is Farm to School Month. Hip hip. So there are so many opportunities to get involved, and really, how do you want to celebrate at your school? Just a heads up, I put in a request for a governor's proclamation. I know October is National Farm to School Month, but I was hoping that the governor can proclaim October as Idaho's Farm to School Month. Some folks are having harvest celebrations and farmers harvest markets. Some are holding taste testing events, and many are integrating local produce into their FFEP activities. The new cafeteria posters with the local food served today section should be easy to fill out right now, because so many things are in season. We'll get to that in just a sec. And this year is our very first crunch day. I set aside October 15th. And and that's not 2015, but 2024 at 10:15 on 10:15. Wherever you are, take a minute to crunch into an Idaho apple. If 10:15 doesn't work for you, that's okay. Or if you prefer to take a crunch into something like an Idaho potato, that's okay too. Just kidding, trying to see who's still awake. We're celebrating eating local foods and supporting Idaho farmers. And if I can have you track your spending, I'll be sending out a survey later in October, beginning of November. We're going to try to see if maybe next year there could be some grant or sponsorship opportunities. So it would be helpful to know what you spend on an apple for all the kiddos for a crunch day in October. So hang on to that and let me know. And please also, if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, Melissa has a nephew who loves to eat raw potatoes. I love it. So just the last thing, these are some pictures from last year. So the Harvest Hippo game in the cafeteria, dressed like a farmer day. There's a walk to school day, visit from a farmer, or even visits to farms. However you celebrate, please take pictures and then we can share them out in November. And here's our what's in season. There's still a lot of variety, like 70% of what's in season. Our break rooms filled with tomatoes and cucumbers, so many cucumbers and tomatoes. We had some melons and just grapes from someone's backyard, all sorts of wonderful harvest, fresh local produce. The autumnal equinox is within days, and that'll signal the end of the growing season. So take some time and enjoy the bountiful harvest. And then National School Lunch Week takes place in the middle of October, and this month's theme is School Lunch Pirates, Find Your Treasure. It's no secret that pirates have long captured the imaginations of children and adults alike with their tales of high seas adventures and hidden treasures. By tapping into this timeless fascination, National School Lunch Week 24 aims not only to boost participation in the school lunch program, but also to foster a sense of excitement and camaraderie among students as they gather to break bread together. The SNA has a toolkit of resources for you. And I have a couple jokes. What's a pirate's favorite letter? Many people say R, but it's really the C. What's a pirate's favorite exercise? Wait for it. Wait for it. The plank. What's a pirate's favorite school subject? Anyone? Art. And okay, last one, sorry. How do pirates communicate? With an iPhone. There you go. Okay, I'm done. Turn up the beat award. Dominique, can you take it away?
Yeah, that was good. Nice jokes there, Emma. Hi everyone, this is Dominic, the Summer Food Program. And I'm sending out the final reminder. We have Turn Up the Beat, which is an award system for highlighting your fantastic summer meal programs. We have the deadline for us to submit them to Western Region is September 27th. We extended the deadline to use sponsors for September 25th. So the link to the nomination packet is there. It's a great way to highlight to our regional office and the national office all the great meals that you serve during the summer program. So if you have time, get that nomination packet in. We can't nominate you. We can only approve you. You have to either nominate someone else or brag about your own operation. So last chance, September 25th is the deadline. I would love to see more nomination packets turned in for Idaho to highlight all the fantastic work that you do during the summer. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thanks, Dominique. And yes, last year, West Data received the Silver Award. So it happens. Idaho has some great Turn Up the Beats awards. And thanks, Dominique. Okay, so this is time that we've set aside for town hall, where everybody either put in the chat or come off mute and tell us if you, for you, bad debt, what's the impact? In the chat, very costly to manage.
Hi, Pamela. Can you hear me?
Yes, is that Katie?
Yes. Hi, everybody. This is Katie. I was just going to say that bad debt really affects the school district, not just our program, because it's the school district's responsibility to cover any bad debt. So our district in particular, we really struggled last year with our finances. We're borderline declaring a financial emergency. So any bad debt really hit the bottom dollar for our district. And then it takes away from hiring positions and funding any curriculum or anything like that. So it's really important that our admin understand what bad debt means and how it affects the school district, not just us. How I helped advocate that it's not my problem, it's your problem per se. We updated our meal charge policy to include things like the district covers any bad debt at the end of the school year. And then I worked with our business manager to define what that looks like. So I'll tag our policy in the chat here so others can look at it.
Perfect. Thank you, Katie. Also in the chat, this is the first year that general funds has actually paid the bad debt. So if anybody has other ideas, I see Katie is putting a link in the chat. Michelle Eggers, we do not consider bad debt until the student leaves the district. We have a $50 charge limit for each student. Once they exceed $50, charging is not allowed. And that's something for, I mean, if you have if you have a big district, you know, $50 per student, I mean, that adds up quick. Thanks,
Michelle, I have a follow-up question. What does not charging look like for you guys? Is it you guys denying a meal or do they get a different meal? What does that look like in your district?
Hi, so in our district, we are during the time that the child's collecting or the charges are being added up, actually our building administrators are working with the parents to find other resources. So it kind of becomes a problem of either you're going to apply for free and reduced, or you're going to participate in the FCRCs where you can get free foods and things that you need to prepare meals at home to bring to school, or you're going to apply money to the account because it is neglect. And so every year our district pays off any debt that's left from a student that leaves the district, but it is minimal. So it's not, this $40,000 worth of debt. It's only considered bad debt once it's declared that it cannot be collected. And once they leave the district, it cannot be collected. I hope that answered that.
And so then another question, how do you track the students when they're leaving the district?
Inactive and active students in our point of sale.
That seems simple enough.
Yep. I did want to say something because I'm seeing somebody's chat that came up that the child nutrition staff members are treated like the bad guy. I think we worked really hard with our district to make sure that the administrators that the burden of that responsibility, since it is a district policy, is placed on them.
Kristen Homer put in the chat, the first year after the pandemic, when we went back to free, the community was really willing to donate to help cover outstanding debt. Now donations are harder to come by. We are planning fundraising events through our foundation to help cover our debts so that our general fund will have less to cover at the end of the year. Oh, and after the pandemic when they went back to paid.
This is Dominique. Kristen, I just had a question on your chat. You mentioned that your general fund has less to cover at the end of the year. Are you saying that your general fund in your food program covers the bad debt and then the administrative general fund reimburses you? I just want to make sure that's clear for everyone. Does that make sense?
I don't know that Kristen's able to respond to your question, Dominique. um, we had a,
Sorry, she's responding in the chat.
okay, perfect. Okay, our general fund covers the bad debt, but we work to get donations through our foundation to help alleviate some of that debt. Okay.
There was also a question that came through that says who should be in charge to collect the money if the district office doesn't help at all. So first of all, like we've been talking about, I would confer with your meal charge policy to see what it is. There might be something with regards to sending specific household to collections that might be in some of your guys' meal charge policies. So I'd confer with that first and then see where that takes you.
We have another comment that the previous director never made the district pay bad debt, and now they are faced with convincing the superintendent that it needs to be paid. Okay, if the district is creating the meal policy, they should assist with the collection of the debt. Lunch debt is a huge problem and very time consuming. Well, this has been great, you guys. If you have, if you want to continue the message, the topic, or if you have other topics, send us an email, let us know. And we'll save some time in our webinars for that. Oh, Heather Plain, there's a hearing today in Washington regarding school meals. That's terrific. Alrighty. So moving on, we have about 15 minutes left. I just wanted to say our next webinar is October 16th at 8:30 a.m. And then here are some other dates. Crunch Day is on the 15th. Our next webinar is on the 16th. You have your verification samples to pull, reimbursement claims to file, update professional standards, and yeah, just keep on your professional standards. Make sure your trainings are all recorded. Oh, our non-discrimination statement. And then our team now also includes Jessica Medrano as a NSLP coordinator. I'll have to get her picture up next time for you all. But I wanted to make sure that everyone knew who all is on our team. So Jax, Cambria, Cass, and Jessica are the full-time NSLP coordinators, and then Kat and Sean, USDA Foods, Kim, Ashlyn, Marianne, Dominique, CCFP, Lynda, of course, our director, Melissa does claims, Sharon's our admin, and we have an open position for looking for a program specialist. Since Kat and Sean are doing USDA Foods, we need some support for what they used to do. And then finally, we just wanted to say in memoriam of Jen Butler, who passed on Sunday. Her commitment and passion for child nutrition programs was evident throughout her 10 years of service with the Department of Education. She was an inspiration to all who worked alongside her. Throughout her time with CNP, she touched many lives with her positivity and dedication to the constituents of Idaho's child nutrition programs, especially the children. She'd always say at the end of the day, did the kids get fed? She will be deeply missed, and her contributions will leave a lasting impact on our team and on the community. So please keep Jen's family and friends in your thoughts and hearts during this difficult time. And with that, I'll give you some time back to your day. Thanks much, friends. Take care.